reinforcement, but some traditional methods can negatively impact them. Christina Carter with Intuit Parenting joins us now to discuss the best ways to use praise. And we were kind of laughing, Christina, a minute ago. I mean, sometimes as a parent, you're just saying the best thing that can come out of your mouth at the moment. But if you have time to think about it, there are some better ways to praise your children for kind of long-term effect. What are the traditional ways of praising?
Yes, most of us use praise in the traditional sense where if a child does something you like, they'll get your positive attention and you might say things like, good job, way to go, you're so smart, you're so talented. And if a child does something you don't like, they'll typically get disapproval or punishment. And what this teaches children is to keep doing the things that earn them your affection and to stop doing the things that separate them from your affection.
Okay, wait, that sounds like what I want to happen.
So that's exactly right. So it's like, if parents listening are probably like, what is the problem with this? This sounds great.
Positive reinforcement, they do what I want them to do. Negative reinforcement, they stop doing that. Okay, but this long term, because we want to build our children and build our relationship with our children long term, what are we supposed to do?
Okay, well, the danger with what I just said is that kids start to become performance-based. They start seeking approval. They become extrinsically motivated and lose their intrinsic motivation. And they label their unapproved traits as bad or wrong and edit them out. All of that eventually leads to adult anxiety, depression, maladjustment, self-esteem issues. So if you're using praise in this way, don't be hard on yourself. There are things we can do. So one thing you can do is focus on their efforts in a specific situation, not who they are. We want to separate the child from their behavior.
So not you are so smart, but wow, you really aced that test? Is that
that's perfect. So you tried really hard on that. You studied really hard for that test, or you had courage out on the field today, or you showed kindness to your brother just now. Yeah, rather than you're a genius, you're so athletic, you're so kind. Do we want our kids to be kind? Of course, but we can instill that through family values. So why do we want to praise in this way? Highlighting their agency helps them develop their own sense of confidence and doesn't lock them into labels.
Interesting. Okay, so don't lock them into labels. The things like you're so smart, you're so kind, whatever. Focus on the kind thing or the smart thing that they did and praise them for that.
That's right, yeah.
You'll still get that effect of them continuing to try to do those things.
Yeah, that's right. But they at least are going to, it's isolated incidents where their efforts are being highlighted rather than who they are as a person. To build on that, another thing you want to do is state details that you see rather than just give generalized approval. This helps. So so examples of this would be, you put the lid on the jar, or you went down the slide, you vacuumed the rug, you let the bug crawl on you, rather than just awesome, good job for everything. Why do we want to do this? Because you're there to help them process, not to decide if they deserve approval or not.
Gotcha. So what about like other extrinsic, I think that's the word, forms like giving a sticker or the green light or, you know, points in a jar? Do those things work, or are we trying to stick to praise in a different way?
So that can kind of tie in with family values, which is a whole nother topic we can talk about. But yes, if we're trying to teach a child right versus wrong, we do want to help reinforce the right and also highlight what they're not supposed to do. And, and just, it's a teaching process.
But ultimately, we want that to come from within. We don't want them doing it just because we're going to praise them.
That's the ultimate thing. Yes, we want them to decide. And you can ask them, how do you feel, and think about what you've done. Do you feel proud? Why or why not? Or what have you learned? This helps give the space to decide how they feel about themselves, and that's what we really want.
And we want them to feel good about themselves.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Christina.